Oh, this is no. He can wreck Moses without messing with
You're
me.
like the Looper version of him.
No.
Who kills who? That's my question. Okay.
We'll see by the end of this desk, mate.
All right.
unreal.
Thankfully, the map fly-through is
So
starting.
dark.
It's brutal. It is Cobble. It is going to be CLG taking on the defending champions, Envyus. And this time, the Face It guys are going to bring you the action. It's James and DDK upstairs. Take it away, gents.
Thank you very much, Scoots. Dan Zarini, Cheese Panini. How are you doing today?
What an introduction, that's all I can say. Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting one. I mean, for me, with Envyus going up on, with their shaky form, this is actually probably one of the best maps for them to play CLG on. Because, as they're saying on the desk, Kenny S, he is incredible when it comes to AWPing on a map like this. But we'll get into that as the pistol round is going to start off with these two teams. And already it looks like Envyus are going to be making their way towards the B side of the map with the bomb.
Yeah, like Henry G, they're looking to rush B, Dan. There are 3 CTs on there. Looks like Fugly's going to go for the early peek. Nobody down for either side just yet. Envy slowing down a bit now, but as I say that, they're going to charge into the space. Bomb's down, and Fugly's going to try and get some headshots in, but NBK happy putting in work, as is Apex. 2 CTs left here. Not much being done by them at the moment. Not in the bomb site. On the wrong side of the door as well. There's just a flashbang onto Kenny Esther. Other than that, not going to be smoking it off. There goes Tarek, leaving Hayes alone. 20 HP. He may try and save his defuse kit perhaps, but there we go. Happy goes down. So 1 versus 3 for Hayes now. And he will soon be dispatched of. Good start by Envy. Now, this is a map where, in history, we've seen CLG holding the B bomb site with JDM. He's been pretty key for them. They've basically lived and died by JDM with an AWP on the B bomb site. So I do wonder if he can't hold things down on that site, do they have a chance at all? Like in the ESEA league, they're doing pretty poor at the moment.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, them losing the pistol round is already the big problem here because they really needed those fast free rounds against Envyus. The CT side is the side that's going to be really crucial for them because Envyus will have a very solid one. But we'll see triple mag 10 here, so that is definitely going to allude to some very fast action here. As you can see already, little boots there, very cute stuff from Apex and Happy just to maybe catch off any CLG players looking to go for some aggression towards the drop area, but instead CLG have actually stacked their players towards the A side of the map, and Envyus, you can see they're playing the information game so far. The MAC-10s are very good at jumping around corners, drawing out fire, and making it really hard for those pistols to get the initial kills.
Happy doesn't have anything to lose here, just being the one of the information men with a MAC-10, going to allow him to jump around and just spray people in the face. And he's going to hold the drop zone, it seems, for the time being, while the rest of his team will go and see if there is a stack towards the B bomb site. Something we saw Devilwalk doing for Fnatic a long time ago. He would be the man with the MAC-10 going in on Inferno B, for example, but here comes a team with 3 MAC-10s. Lots of little nooks and crannies to clear. CLG will realize that the bomb is being planted on B very shortly, and the question is, what are they going to do? They're on the wrong side of the site, so do they opt to save their pistols and full armor on 3 of those players for the following round? Looks like they may go up the tower. Yeah,
I think it makes a lot of sense. Also, considering they should realize that Envyus are probably going to have maybe a shotgun. Maybe they're going to be having a lot of SMGs, so they can make a lot of money here. So it's good not to try to give away kills and rush the issue when they can maybe find better engagements in the next round with these with the pistol armors that they have. Maybe next round they'll have a better guess as to how to play against Envyus, but looks like so far only able to keep 3 pistols alive. Envyus actually going for a bit of a hunt here on these players, and looks like Hayes might be able to do some extra damage just at the outset of this round, and in fact, Kenny S will indeed go down. So 3 players surviving for Envyus, 2 now for CLG, so only keeping 2 of those pistol armor players in play going into round 3. So this is a great start for Envyus. Everything is going according to plan thus far.
I'm surprised they didn't make it up the tower because the close quarters would have favoured the pistols they have, but never mind. Some have fallen to our left on Fugly and Tarek. So on the previous round, they chose to stack the A bomb site with 1 person over towards B. This time, it seems they're going to go for a bit of a 3-2 split with JDM Fugly and Cutler heading over towards the B bomb site. Kenny's going to be holding outside long A, just in case there's any flanks coming in while his team do work over towards B.
So you can see CLG do have 3 players on the B bomb side, but of course, not having all the armor and weapons to work with, it will be very hard when Envyus eventually decide to go for a push. Really, Envyus can more or less make any play happen. Still playing that early information game though, just trying to get Happy into the drop zone, and that's going to be a really nice spot there for Happy to either cut off rotation or just, well, it looks like Happy might actually be able to get all 3 kills here. There's 3 players here. He gets a quick dink, and in fact, he will get eliminated rather quickly there by Cutler. But it doesn't really matter too much. Happy got the information for the team. Envyus will now pile into the A-bomb site as the rest of CLG try to go for the retake.
Indeed, the T-Still will have 3 places to cover. Got to look out for the flank. The dink's coming in there from JDM on the balcony area. It's got another play there as well. Not expected. Cutler taking down Apex, so this could go either way. Man advantage for CLG soon disappears, but it's the AK in the hands of Kennyus now, and Tarek has armor, but only has 5-7 to work with. Got to get shot straight in the face. An expensive round for Envy, but they won't be too concerned with that. CLG now should be coming out with the buy. You see JDM indeed saved enough money for the AWP to come out. You can see they've got the bandanas like it's one of the Karate Kid films coming out, but are they going to get wrecked on the map stand?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Actually, I'm surprised the CLG managed to do so much damage in that last round. That's pretty nice for them to keep tabs on the economy of Envyus. And in fact, we can see here that Envyus don't have all that much money, as much as they maybe would have liked going into this. And as you alluded to previously, JDM's going to be a very, very important player going into the B defense, and that's often been a very, very difficult problem for any CT side in this game on the top tier to solve. And it's still, arguably, it's not really particularly solved. Lots of different setups you can do, however. We'll have to see how Envyus are going to be able to play it. Will they go for a lot of aggression, or will they try to let CLG make some mistakes by playing it passive and maybe forcing them to play for the info? And JDM, in fact, going for an aggressive peek there, getting tagged down quite a lot by the fire, and he will back away. So lots of pressure coming in here, light pressure from Envyus, not committing to anything. CLG not able to get a quick kill at the start, but here it is. We've got a few more engagements here. The peek's coming into drop zone. Looks like we'll get a quick trade in there as the Ts will now scatter the CTs. The rotation is, they're really thinking about it as Tarek goes close to the doors, but the bomb is making its way towards A.
Can they capitalize fast enough, though? We've got 3 of the Envy players starting to move up towards the A-bomb site now, and still CLG have no eyes in that direction. The smoke's gone down. That's going to be the giveaway here. Tarek moving back into the site now, but he's stuck between the APC in CT spawn, taking down Devil. That's the bomb down in a really bad situation as well. 40 seconds left, but it's a 3-man advantage for CLG. Just great for their economies. And Kenny's versus 3 now. Got to try and use his positioning to not get traded by these CTs. You can see has a quick engagement with JDM, but he's looking for the player to try and trade. Still got 30 seconds to work with here. Going for a 2-man spray down won't be enough, but he has done significant damage to the CT economy.
Yeah, and the key thing there is that Envyus were not able to actually plant the bomb. Had they been able to plant the bomb, they'd be able to go with a full buy here, but instead we're going to see a bit of a quasi-buy. We'll get the Tech 9s in there, we'll get the armor and some grenades. A lot of flashbangs coming in for Envyus, but yeah, this is definitely going to be a very fast-paced round from Envyus. A fast site hit is what's required with a setup like this. We'll have to see how they decide to execute it, but this will be a really good test for a player like JDM. If they are to hit the B bomb site, he's not going to be able to afford to miss any shots with that AWP. And here comes Envyus.
They've got 7 flashbangs, so it's going to be hard for CLG to see anything in the next few seconds. Going to have to back up his Fugly, but he's going to get taken down while throwing a grenade. JDM gets 1 frag, traded immediately. If they can shut down this door area, then they could win this round at Envy. Bomb plant looks good for the time being, but Cutler's done great work taking down 2.
Yeah, and MBK has picked up the bomb. He's holding the angle. He does have the AWP there, so a bit not sure whether to just keep holding the angle for a bit more. Use the time. There is a lot of time on the clock as their round was so fast. But now he is finally going to go and see if he can get the plant down, as the TTs are not yet pushing until that plant does go down. Now they can make their move. Happy close range with the P250. Can he find the headshot there? Hayes is going to be able to get it done there with the Mag 7. And now it's all on MBK. 1 versus 3 with the AWP in hand, and Cutler's going to get it done. And that will be that. So CLG will survive that with 3 players. Quite a dangerous round, but let's not forget, Envyus went in there with about $2,000 left on each player. And with the round loss bonus plus the $800 for each player from the bomb plant, there's another strong buy coming out here. So CLG have a lot to withstand yet.
Yeah, Envy sitting on 4,000 to 5.5, so we're going to have lots of AKs in play, and versus aimers like that, that's not a good look for your team. So CLG have, we'll see how much money they have once their entire buy has come in. Got a few rifles to rebuy, and of course they will need as much utility as possible. So they will know their economy is still in a precarious state, and I'm sure they will be feeling the pressure. Hayes opting to continue with the Mag 7. I'm curious as to whether he's going to play in a drop or perhaps play close to the crack in the wall over towards B. With that, there's a number of ways you can play it. He's actually going to be going towards upper A, so perhaps around these stairs of danger. We'll have to see as things go on. Bit of a passive play from Envy towards the B bomb site on this occasion. Lots of players outside A just looking for any pushes, looking to punish CLG for seeking information.
Yeah, so a bit of a classic, more classic slow round here from Envyus. does look like they might be wanting to take the bomb down towards A long, in fact. But in keeping 2 players towards B, trying to bait out grenades, they're basically showing CLG that there's presence all over the map. So CLG can't actually know exactly what's going on. And here goes the first attempt to open up some map control here for Envyus. We'll see Apex leading the charge here. A bit of a boost here on a teammate with the AWP. Kenny S able to get some very nice angles there with that AWP. But in goes Apex. Forward, and by secret, there's Hayes with the Mag 7, finds the first headshot. Apex is going to go down. Hayes with another shot with that Mag 7. That's 2 players down, and a lot of info there for CLG.
Hayes in full Donald Trump mode. The walls are up, Dan, and the shutters are down, taking 2 men with him. But the numbers will be evened up now. Tarek getting taken down by Devil. There are 43 seconds left for the site to be taken. Everyone's on the A site now, but which way will the trades go? Cutler goes down to Kenny S. There's still the AWP on JDM though, but is he going to be able to use it? Fugly in a nasty spot. Happy just waiting, and down he goes. So JDM versus rest of France at the moment. We'll see what he can do. He's in a spot where he's actually trapped between Happy and his teammates, so escape may be futile.
Yeah, this is really hard for JDM, and Happy will catch him indeed, and that's your gone. So CLG, they couldn't really get much momentum going into the beginning of this match. They started winning rounds, Envyus made it very costly, and now they've really taken control back. Of course, CLG, there is some money on them, but they're probably going to opt for actually no, they're going to go for the 4-buy, it would seem. So JDM will be able to field up another AWP, but this is where things get a little bit scary, because on a map like this, I really feel like CLG need to get around 5 to 6 rounds minimum against a team like Envyus, because their CT side with Kenny S on the AWP is going to be ridiculous.
Looks like JDM might be going for a fast peek. Just looking at the wall in case any flashbangs were coming in. He was towards lower. Often you'll see AWPers looking at the rock. When people pass it, they can often get shot in the head from an AWPer in that position, but nothing doing for him. JDM's the only player who looks like he's driving a Cadillac while he's playing in professional matches, the way he sits in his chair. Again, we've got Kenny and Devil towards long A, just keeping an eye on things, again, making sure there's no flanks, which can be very powerful if they come off from the CT, so going to have to be weary of that. For the time being, there's a 4-man stack here with only 2 rifles on the CLG side, the rest of them with 5.7s. They've still got some utility, a lot of counter flashes, 2 smokes, so they can slow down the Envy side, who start to move into the drop zone.
Yeah, so we're excited to get the constricting movement here from Envyus as they take drop, as they edge their way down the plateau as well. CLG haven't got too much of a wind of this. You can see they're giving up some positions here, but this buy is not really the best ever. 3 5.7s and only 2 major weapons in the M4 and the AWP on CLG, so they're not the best equipped to deal with this push, but there's Apex. He'll find the first player. He can't quite break out through the window. Instead, going to pop flash through the smoke, making his way into that B site. Maybe he can split the defense here, but it looks like so far CLG are doing a great job getting these frags, and in fact, Envyus are struggling. They can't get off the plateau. It's all going to be on Happy's effort here to make something happen around drop. He goes for the next engagement, but he can't get it done. Tarek with the 5.7. Now Kenny S trapped alone, and JDM, there's the last nail in the coffin for that round of Envyus. That split did not work out. CLG showing that they are actually on point.
We haven't seen much in the way of executes on the B-bomb site from Envyus. Like you saw, we've seen multiple times now already in this match where there's a player being standing on tree. That's a position that's commonly Molotoved from the other side of the team main wall, but we haven't seen anything like that from Envy, despite having utility in a number of rounds. They find themselves short once again, though, down to the pistols, the Tech 9s, the P250s. Again, they've got many, many flashbangs and 2 smokes, so we'll see what they have to offer on this occasion. 5 Frenchmen headed towards the bomb site now, expecting lots of flashbang spam to come in. Fugly got punished last time, and he's going to get punished again, this time even closer, shot straight in the face by NBK.
Yeah, so far it's actually panning out okay for Envyus. They need to get the bomb down. They will be able to do that. And they've got 4 players left alive, taking some post-pump positions, but CLG setting up the retake there. Tarek was going to bust through towards the plateau area, so CLG getting some positioning going into this, but it's absolute chaos with the pistols. Devil coming in with a 2K now, and that's CLG left with only Tarek. He's fully stacked on nades, armor, health, everything. But he's got 2 players to find. MBK goes down, just a lick of health, lick of damage there to take him down rather, as the smoke will be planted by Devil to give him, by Tarek to give him some more space to work with. And he's going to go straight through the smoke. I don't think that was expected at all by Devil. And there's plenty of time for Tarek to pick up this defuse with this kit. Very nicely done by Tarek there, 3K from him. That's going to tie things up, but what an expensive round.
Yeah, that was a really smart play by Tarek, actually, because of where the bomb was planted. You can use the direction of the wall, basically, to almost guarantee a spray down in that situation where it might be more difficult in other situations where smokes have gone down. So, nice play by him. Timing was in his favor as well with the with Devil concentrating on spraying towards the bomb. So 4-4, CLG again struggling, but this time they have more utility. They've got pretty much full nades. The Mag 7 continues on Haze, but we've seen what he can do with that. Building some bank with it as well, and Envy are going to be on a proper eco on this occasion. Well, actually, I say that. They've got full armor and pistols, so again, looking for the aim jewels there. I do wonder if we're going to see an execute on the T side, but for now, it's Tarek burning them in the flames. He will get traded though. JDM has got a tight angle. It needs to be careful because that is a precarious situation. If Kenny picks it up, JDM goes down, and his teammates are on the wrong side of the door. So this is going to be a very sticky situation for CLG. Kenny does have the AWP, but only 25 HP. Needs to plant the bomb as well.
Yeah, this is looking quite disastrous. Cutler looking to throw in the save there for CLG, picking up an extra kill as Happy tries to take some positioning, get some pressure on this retake effort from CLG, but it is going to be down to Fugly and Cutler, and there's a lot of nades on Fugly. He's got Incendiary as well. That's going to be very good at flushing out these Ts from their positions. There it goes onto the bomb site, but where on earth are these players? There's one by the APC. Cutler's going to assassinate MVK. Another kill coming in from Cutler as well. Just one more in Devil. He's going to get flanked. And there you go, Cutler with all the frags, 4K from him, but again, a lot of damage in that round, another bomb plant from Envyus, and they didn't even buy any grenades. Normally you'd expect even one flash or something to pop flash the rush or something like that, but they just went with the armor and the pistols, and it seemed to do the job.
A smart play from Cutler as well. He could see, he saw NBK was just randomly shooting his P250 behind the APCs, trying to bait the distraction, but Cutler knew there was a crossfire situation. He was looking for it, managed to survive and take down NBK, and then find the trade fragger afterwards as well. So great play, good retake from the CTs. And they will continue again with the nades. We're going to have the full buy once again from Envy. Kenny on the AWP as well. 4 rounds from 9. I don't think they'll be happy with that so far. Again, it is a best of 1. That is a very good start, though, by Apex. JDM, he's the star player on this map for CLG. He's gone down early. Can Envy capitalize?
Yeah, and usually you actually see him towards the B bomb site, so that's an interesting bit of information there for Envyus, of course, being able to take down the AWP immediately. What does that tell them about what the setup's going to be like on B? It probably won't matter too much for them. There's not too much they can do with any of that information at this point, but just being able to play a 5 versus 4 with 1 minute and 25 seconds left is actually an amazing position for a T-side, and for a T-side with a good caller. And Happy's now calling for the team as well, and it looks like Kenny S is going to start things happening towards A-Long, picks up a kill onto Tarek, and this looks really bad right now for CLG.
Indeed, it's a 4 versus 1 situation on the A bomb site. Hazed has a hope and a prayer and a silenced M4. So he's going to have to hope he gets 2 with 1. There's an Inferno-esque flashbang. Only gets to 1 player though. Trade comes in, and again, his teammates are well out of position. The smoke's already down on the door. In fact, they're over towards B, and Happy might hear them running now. Indeed he does. You see his attention has been reached by these CTs. So this is going to be another expensive round for CLG, and they're going to be back to losing ways once again. Envy looking to survive with 4 players, although the hunt has begun. Fugly is a fair few meters away, so he may survive if he chooses to go up the tower. Doesn't seem to be favoured though by the CLG players so far on this map.
Yeah,
well,
and, I mean, CLG are likely going to have to. I mean, if Fugly's able to keep this weapon alive, they can kind of quasi a little bit behind this, but their money's in a pretty awful spot. But that said, they've already got 5 rounds. They're actually putting up some really legit defenses from some of Envyus's assaults. So CLG are looking pretty strong in this couple match so far. I'm actually quite surprised in how well they're doing. I mean, let's not forget, they didn't even win the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that, well, you'd expect JDM to be more of a crutch on this map for them, but, I mean, maybe you can put part of that towards Envy. Again, we haven't seen any like full executes that you see from more team-oriented play as opposed to aim jewels from them so far. So this is a map where you may expect to get more rounds on the T side as well. We'll see how they choose to play this one. The AWP back onto Kenny S. Not going to get wallbang on this occasion for Apex. There is a M4 onto NBK. See if they can continue and build a streak of rounds now.
Yeah, playing the long-range game against Kenny S when he's got an AWP is so incredibly difficult, and it's so impossibly hard to trade against him on, if he's on the T or the CT side. And he's so incredibly good at that long area. We already saw him get basically a round-winning pick there in the previous round. So if he's able to keep that up, there's a lot of trouble in store here for CLG, and we can start to see now Envyus working on the A side of the map once again, but they're in no means actually committed towards A or B just yet. It's early days, but let's see what happens with Apex here.
Yeah, CLG are distinctly lacking in nades as well. Counter flashes are going to be a problem. Apex, is he going to get the kill here? There is a trade situation possible, but Kenyes comes in for the save. Nice angle being held by him. Now here's some good team play from Envy. 4 plays again, exposing the A site, and it looks like CLG may have decided on the save already. Fugly moving away from A, closer to his teammates on B, where of course Happy is lurking, looking to cause yet more problems. JDM looking for the flank. Aggression is the best form of defense sometimes, and it definitely will be in this situation for the would-be saving CLG players. No bomb plant down just yet, so maybe opportunity for provide them a chance to go for a retake here, but they've got 1 flashbang left, and that's it. And they're on the wrong side of the door. JDM's going for a super long flank down long A. Kenyes is already looking there, so we may see a clash of the Titans soon.
Yeah, this is a pretty awful spot, to say the least, for CLG right now. Looks like they are actually trying to go for this retake, or at least trying to see if they can get a quick kill or two to see if the retake's possible. And it looks like that's actually going to be awarded to JDM, and that's going to encourage a duel or two coming in from the CLG players. And Cutler's going to get the kill onto Apex, meaning that they're going to go for this one. Cutler with a follow-up, and it's just on Devil, the new man here for Envyus. Let's see what he can do against Cutler. Cutler jumping in the air. Devil is going to mow him down with the AK-47. And it looks like Envyus will win that round. That was a very hard call, I think, for CLG to go for that retake. They had made a good shout of it, I think, but
yeah, I think if the bomb goes down faster, then they probably go for the save there when they're already moving over towards the B bomb site. But they just had so much time to play with that it's like, okay, well, let's just move a bit closer. If we can get another pick, then it's a 3 versus 3. Then we've got 40 seconds when the bomb goes down. So there's opportunity to be had there. Unfortunately, it didn't go their way, and now Envy can try and steamroll some rounds as CLG are on the eco.
Absolutely, and we are starting to see this this trend really of the Apex Kenyes combination on the providing entries and space at the start of the rounds. It's been very successful for Envyus, much more successful than straight up challenging into a defensive setup with an execute, as we've seen not go so well for Envyus in the previous rounds as they've made their efforts towards B. Now, this round is going to be about, of course, getting the information for Envyus, because as we can see, we have a likely strategy out of a team. Out of the CT side of CLG, which is basically stacking the players towards an area of the map where there's lots of close range angles, where they can trade efficiently with the pistols. And of course, they haven't really invested in anything more than a couple P250s. And Envyus are actually walking into this side of the map, so let's see if CLG can actually pick up some damage here.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy with these pistols, and they are getting taken down bit by bit. I was just having a look. We're above both sides of the players here, so I was having a look at Tariq, who was behind 3 of his teammates. And he was watching other people's screens. But not much to be done there, to be honest, so it's pretty much a nothing round. Interesting, Tariq, he uses mostly the top right of his mousepad, and JDM sitting back uses mostly the bottom right of his mousepad, not moving much. Seems to be a bit of a wrist player.
Yeah, so it's generally speaking, pretty great effort there from Envyus not to lose a single man. That's how you want to do it, of course. And that's going to make things all the more difficult for CLG in the closing rounds of the first half. They've already managed to secure 5 rounds, but this time JDM can't afford AWP, and they are much lighter on the grenades. You'll notice there's no incendiaries. And Envyus are back to the strategy that's been working and getting the picks, but this time actually Happy's going to get picked off towards the B side of the map. This changes things for CLG. A 5 versus 4 advantage early on. This is an advantage they're not used to having so far.
Yeah, it seems Happy was going for a peek in the drop zone, and his head was what got dropped by Cutler. So he's going to be on the bench for this round. NBK now is going to be the lone soldier towards the B-bomb site. Nice pop flash coming in there, and Tariq will make use of it. Good teamwork by CLG, pushing in the danger zone as well. And Apex has also left the building 5 versus 2. There are only a few rounds left in this half. Envy doing much better now with 7 rounds on the board, but this bodes well for CLG going into the final rounds of the first half if they can hold on to most of their weaponry here. Just NBK and Devil remaining. We'll have to see what his clutch potential is compared to his teammates. We know NBK often has passive angles on the CT side, but we do know he is an absolute savage, and he'll be looking to pop some heads here for his team. CLG just biding their time, using the grenades they have, their utility. There we go, Fugly takes on NBK, so now it's on a new boy. Doesn't last very long. We'll go into round 14 with 5 surviving players on CLG.
Yeah, and there's going to be money there for the buy on Envyus, so they're not too worried about fielding a strong round into round 14. And interestingly, of course, CLG 6 rounds already on the CT side. That's pretty legit. That's going to give them a lot of opportunity when they move on to the T side to figure out what kind of attacks are going to be working for them against Envyus currently. Again, Kenyes has been really on form as of late, and with the AWP on the long area, he's incredibly dangerous towards the A side of the map. So I have to see where they find the chinks in the armor Envyus. But for now, let's see if CLG can make this even better for themselves. Can they pick up that 7th round? Another push comes in on towards the A side of the map. This has been working out for Envyus so far against CLG's defense, and there's actually a bit of a flank there. Good stuff in from JDM.
Yeah, it's really nice play by JDM because they have to be paranoid about the flank there as they push the site. They're sandwiched between the two players. So one person has to look behind him all the time, and that's what happens. Kenny is looking behind him, gets shot from the other back. And another round on the board for CLG. Very smart play from JDM there. Getting a shot as they come through the smoke, then pushing through the smoke himself. They don't go back to challenge him, but then he gets, I mean, Happy seems to be taken by complete surprise there. Wasn't looking for JDM, so they seem to have no idea. They must have assumed that he ran back.
Yeah, so we moved to 7-7, so I think it's getting quite interesting as Envyus are pushed into a spot where, well, their money wasn't too perfect, so we're going to see MBK on his...
Gone for a scout?
His typical signature scout.
T-side scout on Cobblestone. I am quite curious to see how he is going to make use of that.
Yeah, he's a bit of a scout specialist as MBK.
I suppose if they go for a fast B push, he can stay on the platform while his teammates try and take the site, and he can pick off people coming through the door. But he's going to be looking for the entries, it seems, as he is on the end of the balcony. Going to be having a butcher's hook, as we would say, in the Cockney parts of London.
All right, so looks like the action is about to kick off here now as the nades are coming in from the Envyus side. The execute begins to unfold onto this B bomb site. Hayes is looking frantically left and right. Where are the players from the drop zone? He's expecting one, and finally Happy's going to come in very late, dropping down mid a headshot. And that is going to be Hayes out of the picture. 3 players surviving onto the bomb site for Envyus against the 3 coming in for the retake of CLG. So this is a pretty close affair between these two sides. The bomb now adding that pressure of the clock to CLG as well. Nades coming in. Kenny S with a quick headshot on Tariq. Cutler can't make good of his close position, and now it's all down to JDM.
Yeah, they've got the man advantage, have the NV side. And JDM does not have a kit. Not sure if there's one on the floor, but time is not on his side. The trade situation is going to go in the favor of NV, and they will take a thin lead going into the second half. So in 15 rounds, the one actual execute they did on the B site was round 15.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting as well, considering that 7 rounds on the CT side is again, it's pretty legit, and CLG did not even win in the pistol round or the follow-up for Spy. I mean, they got a bit of damage in, but it was nothing too special. They won a lot of buy rounds when Envyus were kind of experimenting, because you always have to figure out, okay, where is, is the execute on B going to be the strong point for us, or is it going to be a slower picking style? We saw them going to kind of go through the motions there, and eventually they discovered the slower rounds were working out better for them. CLG were facing them here and there, and that's prime position for Kenny S to get those kills.
Yeah, I mean, after the pistol round and the 2 following rounds, 5 of the next 6 rounds were won by CLG, so it wasn't a fantastic start for Envy, but they started to claw back once they broke the economy of the CT side, started to claw back a lot of rounds, because it was looking a bit ropey. It was looking very ropey for them, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning, once the pistol's out of the way, and bearing that in mind, CLG did a good job of getting 7 rounds on the board on their CT side, and I don't feel like JDM was even tested as much as I would have expected him to be over towards the B bomb site. That said, he was rotating over towards the underpass or mid area, if you will. Not with much success though. Often you might see Orpers again looking at the boulder towards the top of the hill, where people would not normally cross, but then again, Envy were playing quite passively over there, so you had Kenny looking towards long A, but from much further back, so he wouldn't be holding those angles. So still all to play for. Again, it is a best of 1, which makes it really tricky to figure out what's going to happen here, because obviously Envy not playing at their best. And
yeah.
their best was far above CLG's best, but CLG haven't been performing very good either. So really.
And this is the thing, when you're going into this kind of situation, and let's say, you're Envious and you lose that pistol round on the CT side, you're now in a spot where you can't really afford, when your first buy versus buy comes in, you can't necessarily really afford all the utility you want and all the weapons you want to deal with some of the faster execute-based play that CLG are likely going to throw at Envyus at some point, probably sooner rather than later. So that's going to be a big issue for them. And then, if you don't get the economic momentum kind of earlier on, as we actually saw from the first buy round CLG do on their CT side, you're in a lot of trouble. So I'm very curious to see how this is actually going to pan out. And here it is.
Well, look at this. Envy has sent 4 people over towards the B-bomb site. Kenny is basically standing in CT spawn like his keyboard's broken, and there are 5 CLG players coming towards him very quickly. Hayes is going to wreck him straight in the face. He has no idea what's going on. Envy looking for the retake now. Smoke's down on the door already. Happy with a very long flank. He may not get there in time.
So Raid Boss with a Deagle. It's actually panning out right now as the players with the Glocks are going to be following suit, and Fugly picks up a 2K there. And this is looking terrible right now for Envyus. Only left with Happy, now the in-game leader again. The lurker of the team as well. Let's see if he's able to actually pick up some kills here. 1 versus 4, of course, are very unrealistic. It would have to be a huge misplay from CLG to allow Happy to actually do anything in this position. He's been spotted, he'll get the first kill, but that is that. And it looks like Envyus will be put in a pretty poor position at the start of this second half, with the Force Spy looking like the play they want to go with.
Man, they swung in there like Homeland Security. Bish, bash, bosh. That was pretty quick. So everything's tied up. What is the play from Envy? They're going to go for the Force Spy, of course. What else would you expect? Kenny, though, is going to keep he's going to keep a grand in the bank, $1,000, as he will be looking to get his AWP sooner rather than later. Will Hayes be able to make another connection with somebody's face? He's holding behind that boulder I was talking about earlier with the Deagle. He's on the opposite side to the side where you can often be AWP'd from where NBK is standing at present. So you can see that Envy are going to be looking for the one-taps with those super strong guns. Again, if you're looking at the weaponry on the CLG side, you see JDM has got the MAC-10, so one would expect him to be jumping around trying to harass and find out where people are. That is a super good smoke to put down because it splits the crossfire situation. Still can get pop flashes coming through, but there are no flashes on these plays. Devil trying to run through, he's getting blocked, but he'll find the frag anyway, so the trade does come in as CLG move into the drop zone.
Yeah, so this is going to be pretty interesting to see if Envyus can actually pick up some extra kills here, because CLG are not really all that in position just yet. Envyus will have some space to work with as they go in, and you can see that's actually going to be the case. Apex not able to make good of his first engagement. He'll go down, and it is going to be MBK kept at bay by the drop zone as well. So Fugly able to do a good job of holding his position with that AK-47, allowing the bomb to go down without further altercation.
NBK, 1 HP, Jesus, not much he can do at the moment, just holding an angle in case somebody tries to get some more real estate. Devil seems to be going for a bit of a save here, so I wonder if his teammates are going to join him. Not going to go for a push. I mean, in this situation, you're more times than not going to win the round here, so you can try and use your pistols to their best advantage, playing close quarters, looking for some one-taps, trying to steal away a rifle if you can, which is what Happy may try to do here. NBK going for the peak, but he never stood much of a chance. Happy, though, has potential. There goes one, but he will have Tarek stop him from being able to pick up any toys. He will leave empty-handed.
Yeah, and I actually like, Envyus sticking around there. So we saw CLG in a similar situation on their first half, and they decided to actually just run to the tower to try to actually save their pistol armor into the next round. But Envyus had like pretty good engagements there, probably better engagements than they'd find in the next round if they saved those pistols. So pretty smart to go for the exits there. Didn't work out too well for them, unfortunately, for the French side, but have to see how things pan out after this eco. Now this is about CLG playing it correctly. That's what we want to look at in this round. They need to be able to stick together, use the grenades, and make sure that Envyus can't abuse the only thing the pistols are really good at, which is the close one-tap range, as you mentioned previously, yep. And that's pretty much it, really.
Well, we've got Tarek with the AK looking over towards the B-bomb site, trying to find out what's going on there, slowly moving. He's got the range advantage with that if people try and poke in through the door. Meanwhile, JDM is over towards A, where there's a 4-man stack from Envy. Going to be jumping around the corners, trying to avoid being headshot with that MAC-10, trying to spam people with a hail of bullets. There's a nice stack there from Kenny and Devil. That's going to do the job. That may speed things up from CLG over towards B-bomb site. They've pretty much got control of all the choke points in that direction now. So you see Apex coming close. Gonna try and jump into the drop zone, but Cutler's there to greet him with open arms. Rather than a hawk, he may want to be a vulture, picking the dead bodies of these players. There goes two. Oh, he's just making money now. He's rolling in cash.
Just one after another. That's
He's that guy, Huel from Baking Brad.
That's like, yeah.
He's a fat brother rolling in the green. In the greenbacks. Is that what they say, greenbacks?
I don't know, mate.
I just want to get.
I'm not the right person to ask.
I just want to get as much patriotism in here as possible. So CLG have a 2-round lead. Yeah, Benjamins, you could say that, I suppose. Envy going to have limited buy. You can see NBK down to the FAMAS. There are a considerable amount of nades, not as many as one would like, but they've got a reasonable amount of nades in terms of smokes and flashbangs. So we'll see what they can do with that, the Envy side. CLG with 5 Molotovs. I'm hoping they have set uses for them in their pushes. Always good to see people with using Molotovs as much as possible. Shout outs to Threat.
So this is that situation I was talking about before where, okay, we've got a FAMAS in play on MBK. We've got a lack of grenades, generally speaking. The incendiaries. We've got Kenny S, who's playing glass cannon.
He's naked
so, I mean, it's okay for the engagements he might want to take, but look at this already. MBK really suffering in that duel against Cutler, and that's a really big kill to take because now the defense is going to be split massively. Somebody has to draw attention towards the drop zone. You can see Happy is the man doing that. All the while, though, CLG are going to make the play towards the A bomb site. And with the defense just generally quite split up, I mean, it's hard to make a wrong call here. As long as they act as a team and coordinate well, you can see that taking over drop zone can give them a lot of options here. And Envyus are looking to try to see if they can get something done. But on Cobble, it's very hard to play aggressively as CT.
A man has been spotted. A man has been found. Down goes Fugly. The numbers have been evened up, but again, it's Devil this time over towards the B-bomb site on his lonesome, where the rest of the CLG team are headed. So he may have a quick engagement here with Tarek, who's going to lead the charge. Flashbang comes in, but Devil spots him just before. Can't get the frag, however. Happy is by the rock with his teammates slow to stream in, and now they have a question on their hands. Do they go for this, or do they go for the save? Kenny has no armor, gets taken down in no man's land as well. So this round is pretty much over. If you're wondering why Cutler is still using the UMP in this round, basically because the force came in from Envy, they're very unlikely. That's not good.
God.
That's not good. That's,
oh, no.
that's not NBA right there. I don't know what league is below NBA, but that's you know, that's a school league right there. Anyway, the reason he has a UMP is because the force buy came in from the CTs.
By the way, that does actually mean Apex can pick up the orb and save it. That's actually and throw it to Kenny S in the next round. That is actually a big deal. What just happened there?
That is a problem.
Potentially a huge problem.
The UMP has pretty good damage versus armor, so for the Kevlar, etc. But it's unlikely that many of the Envy players are going to have helmets in this round because they need to use the money for utility, for nades and so on. So that UMP is pretty beastly in situations such as this. Never mind the kill bonus, Dan.
Yeah, and also it's got very high armor penetration as well. So you know, compared to the rest of the SMGs, it's definitely at the top.
It's up there. It's in there.
Yeah,
it's over there.
UMP is pretty legit, pretty cost-effective weapon. Either way, this is going to be interesting now because that orb that Apex saved, I mean, that shouldn't really have gone to Envyus in this situation. But now Kenny S, he's going to pick up some Kevlar. The team is actually going to quasi behind it. So this is potentially quite interesting. One of the things Kenny S is very, very good at, of course, is these really, as I mentioned before, these really long range angles with the orb. He's so fast, it's very hard to trade against him. It's so difficult to find a way to do that.
The problem is, well, the question is, what are CLG going to do to identify the situation here? Because they've all bought up AKs, and they had the AWP from the previous round on JDM, so they can't be jumping around with MAC-10s as they did previously. So it's going to be more difficult for them to find where Kenny is. And you can see Kenny's got an aggressive position, which they can use the Molotovs for. They've got 4 Molotovs. They can force this position where Kenny is standing. But also, Apex has an aggressive position over towards A, so CLG might find themselves lacking in information without it costing them some men. Cutler, though, already has an advanced position, and that's going to pay off in dividends. Down goes Devil, but where are the rest of the team?
Kenny is absolutely key here. He could really do some great damage and save the round potentially. His teammates are falling around him, but there's the first frag from Kenny. But Kenny is starting to run out of supporting players, and JDM is going to pick him off as his attention is distracted towards the site. So too many angles for Kenny to look at realistically, and unfortunately for him, he's not going to get much done. And CLG will actually save themselves. But I thought for a second there that could go quite wrong for them because they got the first kill there, and of course Envy stacked more players towards there. So in getting that first kill towards drop, they probably think, oh, okay, we're pretty sorted here to go into this bomb site. And little did they know Kenny S was sitting at the back of Plat. But alas, it was not to be for Envyus.
Indeed, and now this is looking quite precarious for the Envy side. They have max loss bonus, which is the only thing going in their favor at the moment, but they're going to need more than that because CLG are moving precariously close to that magical 16th round.
And the problem as well is that CLG are actually going to be building up some nice bank here. So, I mean, Envyus really want to be able to get CLG in that position where they get one of those sort of free rounds where they're looking at, you know, just playing against some pistols. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen. We're
Captain
seeing
Cadillac on the left there.
Yeah, we're seeing so much money. 6K to 10K already for CLG. And if they're able to get a bomb plant and lose a round already, they're still making a lot of money. So when are they going to eco? Probably never.
There are so many issues for Envy here because they have a 4-round deficit. CLG are on 12, which is too close to 16 for comfort. And even if Envy are to win a round, if they lose a round, then that's almost game over, or it should be.
Yeah,
you know, all things even. And again, these are two teams where both of their performances are very variable at the moment. So it's very unpredictable.
Yeah, this is a really tough situation indeed, and it is actually a map that you see CLG play a lot. They do like to get their matches on cobblestone if they can. They feel comfortable in playing those. They don't necessarily have an amazing result there, though. I mean, generally speaking, it's like in the 60% win rate area, but they're playing very well, and their CT performance was really what encouraged me to see them actually winning this match against Envyus. And what is that going to mean for the group? It's going to be absolutely nuts.
Yeah. It's going to throw it all over the place. It's going to be a bit of a tombola, perhaps, as to who comes out first and second. Well, it's nice to see JDM rotating his positions on the CT side again, going from A to B, rather than being, okay, JDM's going to be towards B, he's going to be holding an angle around a statue, waiting for us to drop off. So there's been some development there, which is nice to see. But again, they're on the C side, now they've got a 4-round advantage. They're in a very strong position, and now it's going to come down to, can they close it out? Because really, you have to favour them in this situation. They've got the economy, they've got the cushion. Even if Envy win a round and they reset their economy, then Envy are going to be up that creek with no paddle to be seen.
It's hard to make plays as a CT on side on cobblestone too. If you're on the T side, you can get creative. You can actually, let's say, economy is a problem. Where it's like, okay, we can play a strategy that accommodates the fact that we don't have as many grenades. We can play a faster pace, or our guns are not going to be as good long range against theirs. We can play a shorter range game. You can actually kind of tailor the situations. As CT on this map, it's hard to even get information because you can't really push B plat to get info. Okay, you can play around drop, but if teams are playing a default, you still can't get that much info. So you have to commit too much, and it's a very high risk. And they're in a situation where they don't have enough rounds to really take those kinds of risks against a team like CLG. They should feel comfortable in playing a game where they have very low risk, and they let CLG make the mistakes, or they let CLG over peak against a player like KennyS or really anyone on Envyus because their individual skill's so high. And right now, we saw their first AWP on KennyS. They tried to play it towards the B side as well, and things didn't pan out. So are we going to see a very default setup where they're going to trust themselves, or are we going to see something crazy? That's what I'm wondering.
You can see on the tweeters, Envy are about 60%, but they are yet to win a round on their CT side. They haven't won a single round yet. So I don't know what they're going to change. Again, and you talked about getting information. They were waiting on their T side to punish CLG for looking for information, but CLG basically didn't overextend in that sense. It didn't really push through A or push the underpass. Again, you saw JDM go there and have a peek through the door, as AWPers do, but didn't really get much out of it. And one round he got shot in the face through the door by Apex. So what is the play here from Envy? Because they need to. They may feel like they need to force the issue, force the aggression somehow, but it's a difficult map to do that. We know that. We've seen it time and time again. This is a hard map for CTs to hold, let alone be aggressive on.
Yeah,
are we going to see, like, they could, for example, boost, drop, and then go for a push there, or put someone there, or put two people there. But that's going to be a gamble, hoping that CLG go towards B bomb site. So.
And therein lies the problem, isn't it? Every single player just has to play and just trust themselves and their experience in this spot, because you can't really do anything too crazy.
Yeah.
It's not really all that possible.
And if they do gamble and fail,
I think.
If they do gamble and fail, then that could be curtains. The show might be over. So we're going to start on the CT side with Apex playing on A site. KennyS is going to be holding the underpass area, and they're going to have 3 Envy towards B bomb site on this occasion. Deep smoke coming in towards T main. We can see Tarek going for a spray, just in case any CTs are jumping up, trying to cross to the other side. He wants to make sure they get riddled with bullets, but no such play will be in order. That said, now CLG will have to try and eliminate the chance of someone being there. Sort of Molotov start to be thrown. But it seems CLG are going to commit entirely over towards the A bomb site.
Yeah, and KennyS is back to his usual kind of positions. They're not actually going towards long. In fact, Envyus have decided to play a very passive setup towards A, and I suppose what they're hoping here is perhaps that they will get a bit of a sloppy push from CLG, that KennyS can get that one opportunity and that he's going to hit it, because that's the caliber of player that he is. And that's the form that he's been in. And that's what this round really relies on for Envyus. KennyS cannot miss his shots. He's going to miss the first one. How many more opportunities will he get? The T's are fast approaching onto the A bomb site, and in comes Envyus.
The entire CLG side are on the A site now, charging towards the MBK and Devil, still on the wrong side of the smoke. Almost everyone's on the wrong side of the smokes for the Envy side.
Gonna save.
What is the player? What can they do? They can't really do anything. There are 4 smokes on the A site, and that is them shut down. And again, if they take gambles, they can't do much about it. MBK may be a bit of a sacrificial lamb here, but you can see the doors getting re-smoked once again, and that is going to be a wrap for Envy. One of the big problems for them there was, again, lack of information. But one way to try and get some information is, for example, to throw a pop flash somewhere where perhaps you're going to see some wild spray from someone if you flash them there. But they didn't even have enough flashes to really do that, and then have enough for counter flashes, etc. So it was a very tight spot for them.
I actually think what they did there, the call that they made, is actually very smart, because if you think about the way that they played that, they played the very passive game, because they're putting all their stock in KennyS if CLG decide to go A. Sure, they don't have any information, but if KennyS misses those first 2 shots, he can get the AWP out alive. Their economy's not in a place where they can keep AWPs on KennyS, and that's going to be incredibly crucial. Like, the more KennyS has an AWP and is able to shoot the AWP, the more likely Envyus are going to be able to win some rounds. So I like that they're able to pull him out and go for the full save and get another buy-in, because had they lost and committed more players into that, they're in a horrible spot right now on the weaponry.
We just need to note that Cutler's been going ham sandwiches down. He is currently 25 for 12. He started this round with 15k in the bank. So he is all about those MVPs. So what is the play here from Envy on this occasion? Last time we had Apex in CT spawn. This time he's going to be back in the danger zone once again, with Kenny covering his back from the lower door. So he just has to concentrate on upper. Can hold a tight angle to see if anybody crosses, but again, he's going to be looking for the frag, as you can see there. Meanwhile, we have CLG moving over towards the B-bomb site now, so they're making good decisions so far. And they're going to have 3 CTs in there. So we've got NBK holding a passive angle towards the drop area. And they're going to be just trying to hold sites with as many people as possible. Hayes is going to be the passive man towards A, making sure there's no flank from the Envy side. And it seems he's going to join CLG for another 5-man push on a site.
And there's so many ways for CLG to test Envyus right now. Okay, last round they were successful on A. Could do it again, but they haven't truly tested B yet, so let's see what Envyus have to show there. They've got a lot of buffer rounds to work with, and we'll see Cutler sliding into that drop zone area right now, looking to get, distract some of the players from that B defense as the rest of his teammates got plateau. And the coordination is key here from the T side. If Cutler can pick up a kill, then it's going to be huge. But the distraction comes in. Good bait play coming in from Envyus. The frags are actually going a bit backwards and forwards here. 3 versus 3. And the bomb has made its way onto the bomb site. And this time it's Tarek going massive there with the help of JDM64. It's going to be the site completely clear to CTs. It's a really tough situation for Apex, 1 versus 3. Yeah,
he was going for the flank, but he just could not get there in time, and that's been true for this entire match basically, where the CT's gone for long flanks. It's never got to the right place anywhere near close to before their teammates died basically. So CLG will continue their march. Envy will be back to almost nothing in terms of utility. Going to have to go for the rebuy again. They're still in the max loss bonus because, again, they haven't won a single round on their CT side so far. So it's just not working out for them. And we can see that CLG have repeatedly taken advantage of the fact that nobody's actually playing in the drop zone. So they're just dropping in there unchallenged when they choose to drop in there. But again, they're not abusing that every single round. So they're keeping Envy guessing as to where the bodies are going to go on the CLG side.
This is a scary thing, right? Because let's say that when in their A efforts that KennyS hits those 2 shots, and maybe they still lose a round, but they show that KennyS can still blow them up towards A. And okay, the problem's on B. At least then something's working for Envyus. But Envyus are showing right now that they can't win. They can't win an assault coming into A or to B. So they're in a huge amount of problems right now. What is actually going to? They have no idea what works right now against what Counterlogic Gaming are actually doing.
I mean, look at how passive an angle Kenny is holding here. He's playing the basically closer connector, looking at the door. But there's just not much he can do there. Like, we saw JDM go close to the door, try and get a peek towards the boulder. And the boulder is exactly where Hayes is standing. So he's on the wrong side of it for it to be ideal for Orpez, but we'll come back to that. Tarek has made his way onto the B bomb site now. So Envy guessing time and time again, and the guesses are never going in their favor. 2 frags now on the B bomb site for the CLG side. Devil getting 2 trades though. But again, Envy needs more than trades.
The new boy actually able to get a quick double to secure the bomb site. But still, 3 versus 3 with over a minute left. This is still a great spot for CLG. Lots of options available to them. And what we can see right now is Cutler, he's got a great position in drop. And again, he can get information here. He can be lurking. He can secure kills on the players rotating. And that's what's going to happen right now. CLG, their main push comes in up the ramp in middle onto the A bomb site. And it looks like we've got an interesting position from Apex there. Actually quite deep on the long area. He might not be spotted at all. So he is going to be very important in this defense, but he's actually got no idea, it would seem.
He should hit a scope, surely.
I think he has, yeah.
Spidey sense is tingling, but can he make the connections? No, he's not going to do it. 3 very fast frags for CLG, and disaster has surely struck here for Envy. Again, they have yet to win a single round on their CT side, and now they must win them all.
Yeah, and this is a really weird spot as well. Happy is actually going to pick up an AWP, but he can't afford any armor with it either. This is there's a lack of everything, James.
I feel like Envy are known at their most dangerous. Envy are a team who dictate the pace here. And for example, they've had Kenny on York, but he's had the most passive angles on their CT side.
Yeah, they're playing scared. They're playing very scared.
See now, like when their backs are completely against the wall, Kenny's got a closer angle, but he's playing the FAMAS rather than the York, which Happy has. And he's over towards the B bomb site again. They're playing 3 towards B. NBK a bit closer to the drop, but he's moving back again. Bit of investigation going on with Molotovs from CLG, going into the drop at the moment, and they've got 3 people towards the A area, where they might start to venture towards A. So, Envy, are they? Is this map about to end for them? They don't have much utility at all. All the weapons, all the armor, or any helmets.
Yeah, this is very, very awful for Envyus, to be honest, and we'll have to see whether they can pull something together. Having Kenny S more dynamic with the FAMAS, playing more of a team play setup towards the A side of the map. In fact, there's 3 players there. It looks like they've sniffed out some of the presence of CLG, but CLG is just clearing map control. They still don't have to commit towards the A side of the map, so it's going to be about when they try to break forwards to some additional control here to find some of these players from Envyus. That's going to really key in whether they'll actually go for the switcher route onto the B bomb site, or if they will just commit here and pull the 2 players towards B onto the drop. And here we go, Hazed, the first man, and Happy is going to take him down.
Well, the bomb is pretty much stuck. Fugly has made it over towards the wooden fence, and the split is coming in. Cutler and Tarek moving very quickly. MBK coming for the flank. It's not going to work out, though. Down goes Kenny as well. 3 versus 2 as Cutler and Fugly are quickly lost. There's only 10 seconds to get the bomb down, though. It's got to be fast. Apex coming in for the flank. Won't have the angle to stop the bomb going down from JDM. And now it's down to Devil, the new boy, coming in from a different team. Is he going to choke on the pressure? Both CLG players are quite tagged here, and neither are looking in his direction. But they're going to have to switch because there are too many angles. He wants to know where the other player is before he goes for the frag here. He's got the time, he's got a kit as well, and he's making his way closer to the side. This is a very smart play, but he's not going to do it. Stars and Stripes come through. CLG take it 16-8 over Envy.
Yeah, that was the play from Devil. That was a good call to play it so patiently. But I mean, what he had to do is just win that duel, and he wins the round. So good gamble, but it didn't pay off. But it did feel generally like Envyus took a lack of gambles on the CT side. But on Cobblestone, it's very difficult. And losing the pistol as they did, having your economy in tatters from the start of the half, is very hard sometimes on the CT side. And Envyus, they just didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's a difficult map for them to do what they do best on their CT side. So having so many rounds on the board for CLG works in their favor. And again, they just were very unpredictable on CLG's T side. You didn't know if they were stacking their bodies towards A, towards B. They chose their movements into drop very, very wisely, and basically counterplayed the passive positions on the drop that the French side were taking. So very well done by CLG.
Just noticed as well, we've just got a shot there of Happy just ripping off his Envyus jersey before going in for the handshakes. Wonder if that's a bit of a premonition at this rate. Envyus have been having a horrible streak of results, and where is the light at the end of the tunnel? Is there any light?
As they say in Batman, the night is darkest just before the dawn, Dan. This isn't Batman, though, this is Counter-Strike, so I'm not sure if it applies.
Okay.
We'll have to wait and see. There will be another match from Envy coming in the future, as they're not out of it just yet. So don't rip off your stickers from your negevs.
Yeah, I mean, the group is going to be quite interesting now, with Astralis and Gambit in there as well. Gambit are a bit of an unknown quantity to an extent. I mean, they could end up being a bit of a dark horse. You know, no one's really going to expect all that much from them, but they have a lot of experience, a lot of good players who are yet to, yet to really do something huge in CS:GO in the last year or so. So we'll have to see if they can do in a bit of an upset against Astralis. It's always possible. Astralis have been really up and down as well.
We'll can chat about that a bit later because the interview is ready downstairs with Cutler and Puckets.
Thank you very much, Cutler. Big win here, another win for NA. Bit surprising for some people in the chat, but what did you think when you first saw that you'd be playing Envy round 1?
Well, I knew it would be a hard game either way because they had like a roster change, but they were a little shaky coming into the major, so we felt confident coming in.
Well, you have Gambit and Astralis also in this group. After your first match, how do you feel you stack up against everyone?
I mean, we're extremely confident, like I said, so against whoever we play, we're going to give them a fight.
Doesn't matter who you play. Now, I have a few questions from Reddit. The first one here is Good Guy Elias. What was your preparation coming into the game versus Envy, and what did you identify as their biggest strengths?
We just practice a lot of our defaults, so it's always masking what we're going to do in the beginning. And as their strengths, like, they know once they start hitting their shots, they're very hard to stop. So we just try to make sure we had the confidence going in.
Was there any one player that you felt you had to shut down?
I think it's Apex. Apex is, especially when he gets entries, like if he's on fire, they're like extremely hard to stop.
Now, this next question here is coming from Deeper. How much did the training outside help the squad? I can't do a bird with a microphone and a cue card.
I mean, honestly, I think that's the reason why we even won today. It's from that training.
A lot of training. Can you show us some of your training moves?
I mean, everyone loves the bird, so.
It's Cutler Bird. All right, last one here from Ben Swedish. We're going to keep it light for this one. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Oh, my God. One horse-sized duck, I guess.
And would you win?
Of course.
He never loses, guys. Let's send it over to the desk. Break it down for us.
Break it down.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. And Cutler, obviously, that would be an upset. Moses has his North American hat back on.
Let's do it, baby.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Of course he does.
I mean, this is
Always good on day one.
It's a shame you don't call any of the upsets.
Yeah.
It's okay, though. Cloud9 will still get you.
Cloud9's going to bring me. Cloud9's going to get there.
Yeah.
I have to have faith.
Wouldn't that be perfect if the only upset that actually he didn't call was the one that happened, you know?
Very Moses.
I mean, let's just keep it in perspective. It is just one match in the group stages. They've yet to get out. So let's keep this measured.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of feel
Wait a minute, you're downplaying a huge upset of the reigning champions. 4 of them.
It's not enough to win a match. It's not enough to win a match.
I feel a bit sorry, guys. I do feel a bit sorry for CLG here because, look, the talking point isn't going to be that CLG have got this huge upset and all that. We're actually going to be talking about how terrible Envyus are.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the Envyus.
To some degree, though, I want to give some props to CLG here.
I want to do that as well.
So here's the thing. 2 people on CLG that definitely deserve props has got to be Cutler. I mean, both sides of the map, he controlled that dropper room. And the famous thing about this team at Envyus when they were very good on Cobblestone is like Happy and some of the others just go there every round. Every time they're going away, they always are around there. And Cutler was just controlling that whole area. He had map control at all times. And then you got to give credit to Tarek, actually.
Those are,
Surprisingly good game. I mean, he's a guy who I've often criticized, hasn't come up very big at majors, but he was great in this game.
This was the first, one of the maybe not the first, but one of the best examples of recent memory where Tarek actually played within his own game. He didn't try and do too much. But on those B hits that CLG had on their T side, his play just coming out of Broken Wall and just heading right towards drop, very effective there, finding some good entries, finding some good wraparounds on the defenders of that site. It was really sick stuff. And yeah, Cutler, I mean, I agree with you completely. The way he controlled drop, cut off flanks, found entries, he just did everything.
He was the best player in the game.
Yeah, and you could see as well that they were like really tilted Envyus. I mean, they really went to pieces, and they've got a lot of problems going on in the team. One of the admins who was stood behind them, they said in I think it was round 17, which was like a vital round within the terms of the game. They said 12 words that entire round, just 12 words, and after that it was less and less. They just shut down. They weren't talking to each other.
What is the French word for surrender?
What?
Apparently, it's like Eskimos.
Yeah, they got 50 different words.
There we
go. Yeah, see?
Synergy.
Yeah, synergy. Yeah, we got that one.
See, we don't always just reckon the Americans. The French get it as well, mate.
Using Moses' dome as a conduit there for psychic communication.
All right, let's look at a few highlights. The first one's going to be round 9, and this is going to be a Cutler retake. I believe it was a 1-on-3. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Yeah, and Duncan was absolutely right. Like, you got to give mad props to Cutler because this is a guy like Moses has always been bigging this guy up. And rightly so. He's one of the better players in the team. But again, it's always been a bit overhyped for me. I think that, but this was just ridiculous. And I was actually watching this. I was sat next to Hastro backstage when that happened.
Yeah, that was really a 2-on-3, by the way.
Yeah. And he was, he basically was just sort of crestfallen after that. He even got up and left at one point, like he couldn't watch, like it was sort of inevitable. And like I say, this is indicative of how far Envyus have fallen, because that is a round that they just shouldn't be throwing away. Their after plant positions seem to be pretty decent. It's
just disappointing because I said it before the game even started, that energy loss that Envy took. I thought that was gonna like shock them into like being like, what are we doing? Like, let's get back into this. Like, it's actually incredible, like you said, how far they've fallen, and it just seems to be like they've lost the buzzword of confidence. They've lost confidence in themselves to put themselves in good position to take the fights that they want to take, to trade the kills, which has always been a massive strength for Envyus, is their ability to trade into bomb sites, and they just don't seem to have that swagger to them anymore. And I mean, this is just a really, really bad version of Envy.
I saw an interview. I'm trying to remember who it was with. It might have been with Godby, actually. It was someone else who's like a top pro-level player who said something like the most dangerous thing whenever you played against Envyus. It might have been Carrigan, actually, who said the problem was every time you got a kill on them when you were on T-side, it felt like they just like refragged somewhere else on the map. Like, they would just come back and they'd be... The idea is they like made a play to make up for that. In this particular game here, when they were on CT side and they were winning no rounds, if you just killed them, they were like, okay, back off, guys. You can take that area over, and then we'll hope we get an angle here. They never had any kind of will to win once it got in the second half.
There was that round in that half where Kenny misses an op shot mid, goes into the double doors. The only person left at the A bomb site is Apex. He dies, and it's a 5-on-4, and you could just see Envy immediately they just bailed out.
They did a 4-man save with full weaponry as well.
I mean, CLG, that was, this is an incredible victory from CLG. And it's insane to think. This CLG team is at the bottom of Pro League standings in North America. Yep. They are doing absolutely nothing in their region right now. Yep. It's insane.
Yep. Got one more replay for you, and that's round 22. This is the Tarek push from that broken wall.
Yeah, and this is what you guys were talking about here. This was like, again, I'm critical of Tarek, and it's still going to be something that I think is going to continue. I'm not going to get carried away with one game, but this was just really, really solid play from him. And this was like when you just knew that Envyus wasn't going to be able to mount the fight back.
What you were saying before, though, like the fact that there's no comms, that's something I've noticed ever since actually I saw at Starladder when Envyus was getting wrecked by the Na'Vi guys there, is every time they're on CT and the CT just goes to pot completely and it's going really, really badly, it looks like they don't comm, because actually people even get caught out. Like, say someone dies at a CT position, it almost seems like they don't even tell their teammates, oh, someone's coming behind you or something. So you saw, that's why Cutler going into the drop down was so effective, because if he just got a kill there, it's almost like they weren't even communicating, well, can I go in there? Do I pull back? And so he was just letting his teammates get shot in the back sometimes. There was one round where actually Kenny S with the AWP just got shot in the back for no reason.
And, of course, something delicious for you, something you'll enjoy. Obviously, Happy was back to calling for the major. They changed it 1 week ago, apparently, coming into the major. And that was confirmed via Twitter. So this is sort of, Happy kind of having to take responsibility for this. And when you think about how good they were on Cobblestone, how they were like one of the original teams that used to dictate the pace before we entered into the Fnatic era, where they were so good on Cobblestone. This is just a sad, sad day for Envyus and Envyus fans. And CLG will be triumphant, but I still think the headline's going to be, Envyus are just
I mean, to add to that, that's the real problem when you weigh it up. Yeah, like I give CLG full credit. You still did beat a team that's 4 of the 5 reigning champions. Problem is, it's good for CLG. Like, maybe they have a shot now. They might have to play them again in the best of 3, remember? But the sad part is when I watch a game like that, it feels like we've lost a team that had a chance to win the tournament, because it feels like this Envyus is not going to be a team on that last day competing for the cup.
Yeah. And again, like I said, credit to both teams in the sense of, like, let's not lean too heavy on Envyus being bad, but CLG doing good. Again, 9 straight rounds to win.
It's not as funny to wreck on
game in a tournament.
I mean,
it's not as funny to wreck on teams that lose if they're not from North America. I found. Let's just be civil, guys. Come on, be professional, Moses. Come on,
come on, Moses. All right. So again, that does it for that match. Envyus will drop down to the lower bracket. They will take on the loser of our next match, which is going to be a barn burner. I think this is going to be a tight one. Australia's taking on Gambit Gaming. So it's going to wrap it up for this segment. Thank you very much, gentlemen. When we come right back, it's going to be that match. Astralis taking on Gambit.